Yeah, today we're going to learn 4 chords over 3 different positions to find 12 different chords that we need to know, absolutely need to know, in order to begin playing jazz on the guitar. Starting in position 8, and then position 3, and then we're running up to position 10. And what we're doing is we're playing each one of these chords. For example, this C major 7 right here is the root, the 7, the 3, and the 5, or some configuration of those 4 different tones. 1, 3, 5, and 7. The minor 7, for example, is the 2 chord in the key of C major. So we're starting with the 2 chord in the key of C major, which is D minor 7, which is the root, flat 7, flat 3, and 5. And then the 7, or the 5 chord, which is going to be the G7, which is the 3 in this particular case, 3, 2 fingers, 3, 2, 4, and 1, or chord tones, 1, 3, flat 7, and 1 again, or G, B, F, G. And then we're going down to position 6. We're staying close to the, pretty close to the 8th position. We could use this one if you wanted to. This would be right here in the 8, close to the 8th position. But we're going to use the root position on root 6 today with the 7, the B minor 7 flat 5, which is the old root note, the flat 7, the flatted 3, and the flatted 5th. And those are some leading tones that get us back to the 1 major 7. So in each position, we need to know basically the 2 minor 7, the 5 7, and the 1 major 7. In European, Western harmonic classical music, we would need to know the 4, and the 5, and then the 1. So the 2 typically works out to be the substitution of the 4. And if you wanted to learn more about substitutions, you can take a look at the chord chemistry series that we have going on here and dive right in deep to that. But we're basically breaking down the 1, the 2 minor, the 1 major 7, the 2 minor 7, the 5 dominant 7, and then the 7 half diminished or minor 7 flat 5. This is a substitute for the 5 chord. You know how we use the 2 minor 7 basically as a substitute for the 4 chord in the key of C. Well, we're going to use the 2 chord as a substitute that leads to the 5, that leads to the next, this is one of the next major 7 chords we're going to talk about in a minute. So let's get back to action here in position number 3. So we're going to do the same thing. We're 1 major 7, which is 1 5 this time. Instead of 1 7 3 5, we've reconfigured the notes so that we have these really beautiful guitaristic voicings on position number 3 now. 3. So there's the 1, the 5, the 7, and then the 3. And that's what it sounds like together. The 2 minor sounds like here, it's the D minor 7. Yeah. Which is the 1, flat 3, flat 7, the root note again if you want, and then the 5. And then the G7 is going to be, or the 5, is the G7 again, but this time in a different position. So we've got that root note, flat 7, 3, and then 5. And then we're going to the B minor 7 flat 5, which is basically an extension of the G7. So we have the G7, which is the 1 flat 3 or flat 7 3 flat 5. Then we have the 3. If it was relating to G7, we'd have the 3 flat 7 9 and 5 of the G7, right? But this is also important because it's the third quality. We have the 4th quality. So we have 1 quality, which is major 7. another quality which is minor 7, another quality which is dominant 7, and another quality which is minor 7 flat 5. And those are the 4 7th chord qualities that are diatonic to the C major scale, which we'll get to. If you stick around, I'm going to supply you with some bonus material, so hang right in there. One more position to talk about. Now we're using basically root 6, root 5 to start. Now we're using root 4 to start. And we're in position number 10. We have the root 5, 7, and then 3. Now you could go up here to the D minor 7, which is on 12, 14, and then bar the second finger on frets 13. So we have the root 5, flat 7, flat 3, and then we have the B minor 7, flat 5, which is the root, flat 5, flat 7, and flat 3, which leads back to the root. So we have 1, 2, and then what's the 5 chord? Right here, the G7, which is the 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th chord, or the dominant 7th of the C major scale. So we have the root, the G in the bass, the root, the 5, flat 7, and 3, which leads up to, it could lead up to the 7 chord, the 7 half diminished, or 7 minor 7 flat 5, or B minor 7 flat 5, which leads back to the C major. Our ears to Lydian mode because we're really playing the minor or the major scale. So we're starting with the C major scale. Now this position right here where we did the 1, 2, 5, and then minor 7 flat 5 chord, 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 5 dominant 7, and then 7 minor 7 flat 5 is this major scale here, where we're just ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scale degrees, and then repeating that 1. We start and stop, remember, on the root note, so we can have a chance for our ears to tonicize this motion. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, ti, do. Something like that. So there's that there. The other one that we're looking for is position number 3. So we have this. So we have that root, very nice root note here on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't really reach that without jumping out of the position that we're in, so. Okay. The next one that we're using is position number 10. Okay, so we're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's about all we have access to in that position without using the, you know, the two-hand tap stuff or a slide. But I'm really I want to be conscious about getting those root notes observed. Yeah, so just to review, we put together the root major 7, the 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 5, 7, and the 7 minor 7 flat 5, which leads us back to the 1. It gives us all 4 flavors of the 7 chord qualities that are diatonic to the major scale. We learned that in 8th position, in and around the 8th position, the chords. We did the same thing here with the 1 major 7, the 2 minor 7, and then the 5 dominant 7, and then we went to the 7 half diminished or minor 7 flat 5 again, back to the 1 major 7 in and around the 3rd position. And we also did this beautiful thing where we had the 1 major 7, the 2 minor 7, or like, I don't know, maybe we didn't finish the chords, and then the G7, and then we have the B minor 7 flat 5 or the B minor 7 flat 5, which is another nice one. So by learning those 4 chord flavors and learning this major scale in as many different places as possible, but for now, we're just using the major scale in 3 different positions so that we don't, we don't want our mind to just go poof. Just we're taking it easy, and we're just going to have a fun time working our way through this process. I'm assuming that's why we're here. And until we meet again, I hope you enjoy some happy picking.